I thought that what I put in the description of my previous video was so deep that I needed to make a video to itself, dedicated to it. This is the description of my last video, and I copied and pasted it to save it in case YouTube took the video itself down. So, it was in regards to the various events we see playing out on the world stage. And I said, all the world's a stage, and the people merely players. Now that's a famous quote, similar to a very, very famous literary quote. And I went on to say, not only are the citizens players, but they are pawns, caught in the deadly game of corruption and battle for control and domination. The players at the bottom are caught in the crosshairs of this fight, even though, in actuality, there is no bottom or top, merely an illusion of status created by those who think they are in control. There just is. And it is all happening at once. Past, present, future, and all confined space and time within the same bubble of reality. What's beyond that is the source. What's beyond that is the beyond, is the infinite. We're in the finite. Beyond that is the infinite. But when you think about it, in order for everything to exist, past, present, and future has to be coexisting within this some sort of same bubble. Maybe I'll think differently about it later, but right now that's how I feel. And I used to define time myself as the abstract concept. An abstract concept used to define the linear progression of existence from point to point. That was time for me. And see, I always thought in a philosophical way. That's how I've always thought. And I think to myself, there's got to be better. There's bound to be better. I understand that we have had things really good. We've had things better than the previous generations that we see, the ones that struggled. I understand that. They've struggled substantially more than we could imagine. From the Great Depression, the Dust Bowl, the World Wars, empires that were forged and lost, battles that were won and lost, wars that were deadly, attacks. There have been various kings throughout history, various leaders that have, look at Vlad the Impaler, Ivan the Terrible, Genghis Khan, Adolf Hitler, those horrible individuals and those empires that tried to expand. Now, you look at these things throughout history, and they seem like a long time, but in a way we are merely just similar to the snowflake or the speck of dust on Horton Hears a Who or The Grinch. And our existence seems so long, but in the universal scale, it's very, very minute. And not only is it minute, but who knows in comparison to the other specks out there how infinite that it could be. But in a way, our speck of existence, past, present, and future, has to be existing simultaneously. Almost as if it is and already was, or it will be, that what will be is already, I don't know how to explain it. If you look at ancient prophecies and people that have visions that play out, it's almost as if it's there. It's already in action. It's already taking place. It's almost as if the past, present, and future are coexisting. Like I stated here, within the same bubble of reality. Now, I know complex. It's very complex. But things could be so much better. I envision a reality where we could literally, a life where we could not have to struggle. There's no reason for us to have to struggle and suffer. There is not. And I don't see how people can't see that. We have the resources. We have the technology. We have the interconnectivity. We have the availability. And when the communication and travel, when all of this is available at our disposal and we don't utilize it to create possibly the best known time in our documented history, and instead we're doing what we see today. Anyway, that's my thoughts. And even people I've spoken to are like, you're living in a fairy tale land, that's crazy. Elon himself even stated that humans have the technology where we could live in luxury instead of lower class citizens. We could live in luxury, but I just don't understand. And I understand, I believe in the Lord, and I believe that it's going to happen. All this, I do believe these things, and prophecies do seem to be fulfilling, but they also seem to be pushing it. Every time you turn around, they're pushing it further when they get the chance. But why can't we live peacefully? Why can't we live? Every time, why is it so difficult that when you talk about living luxuriously and living in a way that you don't have to struggle and work your entire life to get somewhere, and then, oh, you're done. Take your entire life to get somewhere doing the same thing all over, day in and day out. Some people enjoy that, but other people, it's like, you struggle to live. Why do we have to be in the struggle? Even though this is one of the greatest systems we've ever had, because of the system that we've created, we don't have to barter. I understand that. We don't have to barter. We don't have to trade. We don't have to give up something we have to get something else. We don't have to struggle and go out and work out there in the field and kill our own food, grow our own food. We don't have to do that. We don't have to go get our own water. We don't have to do all of that. I understand. We have stores, we have communication, we have travel, we have delivery. I understand that. But it could also be better. And just before 2020 happened, we had one of the greatest moments in human history where things got delivered quickly and people were, things were going better for some people. And then all of a sudden it just collapsed. It seems like once you're at the best possible, it just collapses and crashes. But I can envision better. And I know if I could do it, anyone can envision this. And if other people out there felt the same way, and they do, why can't it be a reality? They say, oh, you're living in a fairy tale land. Why? The technology's available. Pardon the motorcycle outside. Why can't they see it? I don't understand it. I've talked about it before. But I will say reality is not what you think. None of us have it figured out yet. But I'll read this again. All the world's a stage, and the people merely players. Not only are the citizens players, but they are pawns caught in the deadly game of corruption and battle and control over and domination. The players at the bottom are caught in the crosshairs of this fight. Even though, in actuality, there is no bottom or top, merely an illusion of status created by those who think that they are in control. There just is, and it is happening all at once, past, present, and future, and all confined space and time, within the same bubble of reality. And that's my thoughts at the moment. That's all. I know good and well that that things can be made better.